Hi, my name is Lior. Welcome to the MakeHaven wood shop. We're going to do just a quick introduction to the layout of the space so that when you come in, you're good to go. Some basic rules off the bat is you cannot be under the influence of any drugs when you come in here. You can't drink down here. You can't have been drinking and then come down. In terms of some other safety stuff, right up on the wall when you come in are eyes, ears, and lungs. So eyes are a must. There are a lot of dangerous tools. Even if you're not using them, parts can fly. So when you come in, grab safety glasses and put them on. And then ears and lung protection are up to you. Some other things are that any jewelry or loose clothing needs to be taken care of. Hair needs to be tied back. There are dangerous tools. You need to make sure that your body's protected. Along those lines, closed-toed shoes are definitely highly recommended. For some of the tools, there's a buddy system, so you need to be within earshot of someone else when you're using a stand-up power tool. And that's about it for the intro safety stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of tool-specific things. Right now, we're just going to look quickly around the shop, and then in other videos, you can see how to use specific tools. So if you want to use them, you just watch the videos for those tools, and then you can come in and just show one of the instructors in the wood shop that you know how to use it, and then you're good to go. So let's start by going this way. Here we have the two band saws. So these are used primarily for resawing wood. Over here we have some accessories for some tools. And then here we have the hand power tools. And so in most of the areas you can see that there are signs up on the wall showing how that area should look. So when you're done, it's critically important that you put all of your tools away and you clean up the space so it is as good as the pictures look. And if it comes in it's a little dirty, then we ask you to help clean up the space so it can be that good for everyone. Part of being a member here at MakeHaven is keeping the space clean. Along those lines, in terms of materials here in the space, when you're working on a project, it can be here for up to 48 hours after, while it's drying up and while you're working on it. Make sure your name and date are on it. And then we ask that you take it out of the space because we just don't have enough space for projects to be sitting in here. In terms of wood, so when you bring wood in, you put your name and date on it, and it can stay for up to a month. But then after that, it's available for people's use. So if you look around, the wood that has blue tags with people's names and dates on it is here for up to a month, and then it has to go because we don't have enough space for people to be storing wood here longer term. And also along those lines, anything without names on it is for the taking. So this is all scrap wood that is, if it doesn't have a name, it's for you to take and to use, and please do that. do that. Over here we have a bench and a ventilation chamber. So if you're doing anything that produces fumes, any small projects, you can do them in here after making sure they're not bad irritants and everyone else in this space is okay with that. Over here we have our grinding and some extra belts and blades for tools. So we have one of the belt sanders, a small vise, and a bench grinder with a buffing wheel and a grinding wheel. Here are the fire cabinets where the chemicals and paints and adhesives are kept. Again, there are pictures showing you how they should be kept. In terms of the blades up on the wall for each of the tools that they're for, it says which tool they're for and how the blades should be used, so what their intended purpose is. For example, for each of the different bandsaw blades, they'd be used for different purposes, and there are notes to let you know what those are. Over here is the stand-up belt sander, and then this is right now where the parts for the table router are. This is the Shipoko, which is a CNC router, so you can plug your computer or you use this computer into it and control the router. This is the air filtration unit, and so whenever you're producing sawdust, it's important to come over and just push the on button and turn the speed up. If you are leaving, when you're leaving and there's still dust in the air, you can press the time button to have it continue to run for 2 hours after you leave to help clean the air. So as we keep going around the shop, over here is where the vacuum lives. So it's important to obviously clean up after yourself and then put the vacuum back so it's available for other people. A lot of the tools that aren't hooked up to the central dust collection can have the vacuum plug into the bottoms of it to help collect the dust. And if they can't, then you just clean up after yourself. Up here we have some pneumatic tools. We have our bits for drills, as well as the two of the drills. We have an air gun for cleaning dust off of things. Both are, they're two air tanks that can be used either with the tools or with the air gun. Moving around, we have some, the rest of the hand tools up on the wall. Most of the places are clearly marked, so you can find the space where it goes. And again, if you can't figure out where something goes, there are pictures up on the wall to help you figure that out. This is a scroll saw, and the blades for the scroll saw are right behind it. Pens and pencils. We have a speaker here for music. And this is the chop saw. Here are some rasps and other grinding tools. And then over here is most of the measuring equipment. So it's up on the wall, and again, things may change position, which is fine, but just make sure that when you're done, it ends up back on the wall where everyone can see it. And down here is our sanding paper that's labeled from 60 to 400 grit. So that brings us over here. Here are some fasteners up against in a cabinet against the wall. The fasteners are just those that have been left over from other people's projects, so you're more than welcome to use them, but do try to keep it somewhat organized. This is one of the benches, obviously, and when, as an example, when your projects are here, it's fine to leave them here for up to 48 hours, but do make sure to put your name and number on it, or name and date, sorry, and if possible, keep your tools and personal belongings in storage in the back room. This is the table saw, and it's hooked up to the dust collection as well, and the planer is also hooked up to the dust collector, which means when you're using either of those tools, you need to make sure the air is flowing the right way using the gates. And up here we have some accessories for the table saw. It's, again, important to keep all the spaces clear, so make sure that when you're done, the jigs go back under the table saw and tools go up here so that you can continue to walk through the space. Against this side of the column are rollers that can be used to help move things through the table saw and other tools to support them. The table router is also the same height as the table saw, so it can be used as an outfeed table. This is the long scrap you were looking at before, and these are the clamps. So the clamps are rollable, but in general it's easier just to come over here, take them, and make sure to put in the back. And again, there are pictures so that you know where they go. So that's pretty much the introduction to the wood shop. And then make sure to watch the videos on individual tools to make sure that you know how to use them, and then just come down and show us that you know how to use them, and then you're good to go. And last but not least, just do make sure to clean up the shop when you're done.